Ohayou gozaimasu. I'm Colin Surname. Welcome to Mixed Emoji, where we sort the leet from the naff. As we all know, emoji are a cultural conspiracy designed to make us accept into global society the most bizarre aspects of Japanese culture. So today's episode focuses on Japan! I admit, all I know about Japan is from video games, manga, anime, and a YouTube video. So if I misinterpret the culture or pronounce anything incorrectly, please buy my music. It's interesting to see how some Japanese symbols are reinterpreted by the Western audience. For example, this symbol from Japanese music notation is also known as the McDonald's emoji. Japan is the only country so far to have its own emoji map. The landmass of Japan is shaped like an anorexic seahorse, or a one-line drawing by Jackson Pollock. Apples and LGs are in cheap frames. Samsung's has just been dropped in the ocean, and HTC cleverly incorporates hints of the Japanese flag. Twitter's is what happens when you use the median filter too much. Maybe it's a view of what Japan will look like after a bit more global warming. I'm only really looking at this one because I noticed that some designers, despite their attention to coastline detail, completely exclude the southern and northern islands. In fact, the Okinawa prefecture, with a population of 1.4 million, is completely ignored by these emoji, showing where our designers' allegiances lie. I'm giving this one to Mozilla for being the most inclusive, even though that southmost island doesn't actually resemble any part of Japan. It's still there. The Japanese castle is an essential emoji for when you want to say Japanese castle, although Microsoft's looks more like a boat. You could do some gnarly kickflips off this HTC one, whilst Emoji Ones is constructed out of a pile of Minecraft pigs. Now, I don't know if it's perfectly culturally accurate, but Samsung's offering has a majesty I can't deny. Koi no bori are a decoration associated with Children's Day. You could ask why Japan needs a day to celebrate children, but when you look at their birth rate, all of these examples show just two fish flag things streaming from a pole. Most of these carp are attached to the flagpole by string, but Google's fish use sheer willpower. Apple's is decent but too rigid, and HTC's look like they're held up by iron. The answer to how to draw a streamer correctly, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Twitter's fishies just look like they've stuck out their tongues in the winter and got frozen to the pole. Mozilla shows what became of the mascots of the London 2012 Olympic Games. I think Samsung's is the best here, but they do look a bit sad. Then again, I'd be sad if I was a water-dwelling animal strung up on a flag. It really highlights the cruelty of children. There's an emoji for the Japanese wind bell, a percussive decoration with a function similar to wind chimes, or apparently jellyfish. Microsoft's is off-center. Samsung's looks more like the emoji for when you finally set your pet tapeworm free from its bowl, and it gets you a farewell card. Again, a lot of these are too stiff. Twitter's is made out of a razor blade. Emoji 1 have a bishop's hat with an indecipherable price tag. I'll give it to Google here. That looks ready to chime. There's also an emoji for the Tokyo Tower, a cover version by Japan of the popular building originally performed by France. There's not much to judge them on but for accuracy. Samsung, though, are trying to make a point about architectural plagiarism, but no point is actually made. I'm eliminating any of these that omit the elevator in the middle, as I consider it essential to the design, so HTC's job is decent enough. The Japanese Goblin, more accurately referred to as a Tengu, more accurately referred to as Mr. Karate, is a possibly fictional monster known for its angry red face and long nose. Google's is the illustration on Japanese KFC buckets. Wario! Twitter's is angry about its own nose. It's good to see that the mask from the Crash Bandicoot games is still finding work. Apple's version has a strong combination of clarity and nuance, and really captures the Tengu's good side. Finally, the Tanabata tree represents the annual Star Festival tradition, where people write out their personal wishes and attach them to bamboo trees. If wishes were trees, this would be a tree tied to a tree. Think of it as like prayer, but with a more lasting effect. Microsoft have just drawn a tree holding glow sticks. Twitter and Mozilla were clearly sitting next to each other when they designed this one, and those must be some very heavy wishes. I think the way to use this emoji is to say, I have a wish, so just one prominent wish tag seems apt, and Apple's is the nicest here. There's no ninja emoji yet, or they might be hiding. I'm done for now, but there are enough Japanese-themed emoji for me to do another episode on it. Hell, there are enough emoji to do an episode just on Japanese food. If you like this video,